Hey everybody, it's RaspyGA. I was watching YouTube earlier and I saw where the Hoss USMC and gun websites went on and to various vendors, and they put together sort of a wish list for AR components that they would use to build a really high quality AR. Thought that was really neat, pretty cool. I kind of wanted to do something similar, but I didn't want to copy them. And I've been needing to introduce this AR to you in its current configuration anyway, so I figured I would knock out two birds with one stone, and we would look over my AR and what I've done to it and why, and we would talk about the prices of each of the components that I've put on the gun, and how much my total price tag is on it, where I'd have to go and buy it all again tomorrow. So let's get started. The gun started out as a Daniel Defense DD M4 V2 easy car or something or another. Essentially all that means is it came with a 7-inch aluminum drop-in quad rail, non-free floated that Daniel Defense makes. It's a really nice rail. I'm running that rail in my shooting the Daniel Defense video that's on here. So y'all can go look at it if you want to see what it looks like. I've also got that in my left-hand manipulations of the AR15 video. That's pretty much what it was. It was no frills. Had a regular standard style stock, standard grip, standard charging handle, fixed front sight base, just a regular AR15 style. It had a cold hammer forged 1 7-inch twist, 16-inch M4 profile barrel with a A2 bird cage. Not a fan of M4 profile barrels, but that's what they had at the store when I bought it. Also has this nice little end plate back here with incorporates a QD bucket that I use. So that was pretty nice. I didn't have to buy one of those. But the gun, I bought it for $1,100 from a local gun shop. And no complaints there. Out of the gate, it is already an outstanding quality AR, true mil spec. Everything's tested. I mean, the way it should be. It's true to the spec, and they're made here in Georgia, so that's kind of nice. It's already a good gun, but I have massaged it a little bit, added some stuff to it to make it a little bit better for me and my application of it. So let's look at those and the price. Again, the gun, $1,100 as I bought it. First we'll look at is the rail system here. This is a Troy Alpha rail, 13-inch. It's a really nice rail. It's free floated. The thing I like about it is it's light. It's really narrow or thin, easy to get your hand all the way around. I think the diameter of it's 1.75 inches. It's user configurable. You put rails where you want them or components where you want them, and leave it slick where you don't. So it just, handles really good. It's 13 inches, so I mean, I can get way out there on it like I like to. Move all my front sight forward, increase my sight radius. This is actually right at or a little over what a standard rifle length AR15 sight radius would be. I got my light forward out of the way where I want it, so it's just really nice, really light. Like I said, mounts up on the standard barrel nut. So all I had to do was take a Dremel, cut my delta ring off the spring and the little clip that holds the spring, and then this bolted right to it, locks up solid, no play whatsoever. I saved a little bit of money by chopping down the standard front sight base and turning it into a makeshift low profile gas block, and it seems to be working fine as it sits now. So that's the rail, Troy Alpha rail, 13 inches. I paid $189 for that from Troy. Actually paid a little bit less because I got it with a nothing fancy discount code, but that's what Troy's price is online. The next thing, Daniel Defense fixed front sight. Can't say much about it. It's a front sight. It works. It's elevation adjustable, just like a standard sight is with the tool or with a bullet tip. It's aluminum, it's light, locks up solid. Haven't had any issues with the Zero. It's a good front sight. I like fixed sights, so I went with that. Already had a Daniel, so why not go with Daniel Defense sights? So that's what I got on the front right there. That is $57 from Bravo Company USA. By the way, Bravo Company is a really great company. It's where I got most of my stuff. Next thing is this Impact Weapons Components radial light mount. The radial mount is designed specifically for these Troy rails. They're contoured on the inside to match up to it. They mount directly to the rail itself. You don't have to attach a picket to any section and then clamp it on or anything. Just bolts right to it. It's machined out of aluminum. It's really high quality. If you've never ordered anything from Impact Weapons, when you do, just their packaging is pretty impressive. Whenever you get their box, it's pretty nifty. But great light mount, holds the light forward where I want it, out of the way of everything else. Does a good job. They're also the company that manufactures Travis Haley's, I think he calls them the drop wing and the thorn tail light mounts. Really good, made in the USA, out of Colorado. Quality stuff, great light mount. For that I paid $60. The light mount is holding a Surefire G2 LED. I bought this light a long time ago. I was just looking online and saw some prices, $89. You can probably get them cheaper, but we'll call it $89. It's a good light. Not a big fan of the momentary or twist for constant switch. I'll be getting a Surefire Z59 clicky tail cap on there before long. That's where I'm sitting right now. The light's pretty good, makes like 120 lumens I think. Runs for a couple hours on two CR123s. It's a good light, wasn't quite bright enough for me. So I'm running a TNVC, it's the Technical Night Vision Company, Q5 Cree LED lamp up here in the front. This lamp increases output to about 256 lumens according to the website, with similar runtime to the original P60L that was in there. It's really bright. You got plenty of halo around the main beam, pretty strong beam, throws pretty decent. Takes a light that was good for fighting low light, extreme low light, for maybe 50 meters and gives me probably about 75 meters. That's for proper identification of the target. Now I can hit a silhouette at over 100 meters with this light, but if you really want to ID something and see details or see if something has a gun or whatever it is you're looking at, it really helps a lot to have this, and that range is typically a little bit shorter distance than what you could actually see enough to shoot. TNVC Q5 Cree LED lamp. That's $45. Great upgrade to a G2 if you've got one laying around. I think they fit a lot of Surefires, but check them out. Moving back down the gun, I got the Impact Weapons Components mount in slot hand stop. Can't really say a whole lot about it. It's a hand stop. It does what it's supposed to. It gives me a good point of reference when I'm driving the gun out. Gives me something to grab and pull back into my shoulder to mitigate recoil. It's machined out of aluminum. It's light. There's no sharp edges. It's well rounded. It mounts up to the rail or to the handguard itself without having to attach any additional rails. Real high quality component. Does what it's supposed to. If you got it Loctited on there, it won't come loose. I got that from Impact Weapons Components for $40. And just like their radial light mount, it is contoured to match the diameter of the Troy rail, so it mounts up flush. Real nice hand stop, $40 from Impact Weapons Components. Back down the gun a little bit on this side, I'm running Impact Weapons Components. Let's see what they call it here. Their QD Micro Flush Mount QD Socket. All right, this mounts directly into one of these ventilation holes wherever you want it that are already in this Troy rail. It's designed specifically for this Troy rail. Keeps it nice and flush. It's no different than any of these holes right here when you're not running a sling in it. It's actually the existence of this QD bucket is the reason I chose this version of the Troy rail versus their VTAC version. The VTAC version has long slots, whereas this Alpha rail has the big holes in it, and this fits right up in there nicely. It's also 8-position rotation limited, which is a really nice feature on it. Keep your sling from spinning around and twisting up on you. Install is kind of funny, but after you get it in there, make sure you Loctite it because it'll get loose. But it's a really good sling mount. I like it a lot. Get to run it up here a few inches forward of the barrel nut like I like it, and real high quality piece. If you got one of these rails, I highly recommend this the sling mount from Impact Weapons Components, and that is $16 from their website. Moving back down, we got the Aimpoint T1 Micro in their just their factory LRP QD mount. I'm got this little throw lever here, comes off, goes back on. No issue with holding zero, with taking it off and putting it back on. Seems to be a real good mount. Though I do have a Daniel Defense mount that I'm going to switch to later because I don't really need the QD capability for what I use the gun for, and it's a little bit lighter. T1's a great optic if you've never run one. It's probably one of the best red dot sights out there. I love Aimpoint products, use them in the military, use them at work, use them here, love them. Really good stuff. Excuse me. The T1 has the night vision capability, which I really am not a fan of. I don't need it. I don't own night vision. So the H1 would probably be a little bit cheaper, a little bit better choice for most, and I would have bought that had I not got this one at a good deal when I bought the gun. I got it brand new with the mount and everything for $550, which is pretty good. So I'll deal with having the added night vision capability there. The optic does great, water resistant, real shock resistant. Larry Vickers and Daniel Defense did a video testing one of their guns, throwing it out of helicopters and setting off a makeshift IED next to it and all kind of stuff. Made the rifle look good, made the aim point that was on it look really good. Even after some frag went in and busted the rear lens, it still worked. We threw it out of the helicopter, it still worked, but throwing it out of the chopper finally made it the zero shift in it. But Aimpoint products are solid. In the carbine course, I ran it in the rain and in the mud. I've had no issues with it. Highly recommended. Well worth the money. Again, $550 I paid for that, which is a good deal. You're probably not going to find it at that price online. Moving back down the gun, I got the Bravo Company Manufacturing Gunfighter Mod 3, the large latch charging handle. I like this a lot. It's a real quality piece, probably one of the tougher charging handles out there. Takes all the strain off the roll pin that holds the latch off of it and transfers it into the charging handle itself, so you're not breaking your latch off when you power stroke it. If you run your gun right-handed, I would caution against the large latch. If you're carrying it around right-handed, it has a potential to bump up against your gear, come unlatched, maybe pull your gun out of battery. So if you're right-handed, I would look at the Mod 2 or Mod 1. Those are the medium and the small latch. However, I run the gun left-handed primarily, so it really helps me a lot when I come over the rear sight, power stroke it. Gives me a nice big shot to aim for, so I keep my eyes down range, focused on whatever my target is, and just do it without even looking at it. Really nice piece, really smooth action. I mean, I can't say anything bad about it. It's high quality. Highly recommended. I picked this one up for I can't remember how much I picked it up for, to be honest with you. But I looked on Bravo Company's website and they're $45. I bought mine here at a local gun shop and I probably paid more for it. Oh well, I was supporting the economy. Good charging handle. All right, what do we got next? We got the Magpul B.A.D. battery assist device lever. Showed this a little bit in my left-handed manipulation AR video. I've since modified it a little bit. we'll talk about that. The reason I'm running it, so when I run empty, and I break the gun in, I come up and I depress the mag release with my support hand thumb to strip the magazine out. What was happening is, with it being full length, I was sometimes accidentally, when I was stripping the mag, bumping the lever and sending the bolt back home, which completely defeated the purpose of running it in the first place. Because now, when I come up and I put a magazine in, I don't just have to turn the gun like I would on a stock gun, slap the paddle, and come back up. Now I have to put the mag in, come over, charge the gun, and then come back up. So it kind of defeated the purpose for me. The way I remedied that is I just took a Dremel and cut it down until it was the appropriate length to when I stripped the magazine. I'm no longer accidentally bumping the lever there and then sending the bolt home. And then again, when I see the magazine, I can, on purpose this time, hit it with my thumb and come back up, which is a little faster than coming over, slapping the paddle. So I like it a lot. Also makes locking the gun back, locking the bolt back pretty easy. You just push there and work the handle. And I've added a little bit of a piece of leftover decal grip that I had on there. Give me a little more traction. Works pretty good. It's the Magpul battery assist device. Oh, what are we looking at price-wise? $29 from Bravo Company. I bought this at a local gun shop. I probably paid more. Oh well. What else do we got? We've got the Bravo Company manufacturing Gunfighter pistol grip Mod 1. Mod 1 grip has the little beaver tail extension, whatever you want to call it, runs up the back of the receiver there. It's a good. I like it a lot. Prior to running this grip, I was using a Magpul Mo grip. It's also a good grip. The thing I really like about this one, though, is the angle is much steeper than the Magpul grip. So when you're running the gun in tight on your stock mag, when you're running the gun in tight on your chest, your wrist is not tweaked as much. It's more straight up and down, and it's just a little bit more comfortable. It's pretty nice feature. Another good feature that I like about it over the Magpul is the floor plate is hinged. It stays attached to the grip. So you still got your storage area inside, but you got this nice hinge piece so you're not losing it. Also in my Magpul grips, the little piece that goes in there vibrates around a little bit. And on one of them that I was running on my AK, I actually broke one of the little lock-in tabs. So this is definitely a better setup in my opinion. The grip is not without fault though. There was initially a sharp edge right here on the grip, and I didn't notice it until in the carbine class about halfway through, when despite wearing gloves I had worn a blister into my knuckle of my middle finger there. So I came home, promptly removed the grip and took a file and just knocked those edges down. And that fixed that problem. It's also a little bit skinnier than the Magpul grip is, but with gloves it's not an issue at all. If I ever wanted to thicken it up, I just throw a couple layers of a bicycle inner tube over it and call it good. But I'm really liking the grip thus far. From Bravo Company, that is $29. Alright, coming to the back of the gun, I got the Magpul CTR Stock. CTR Stock is a nice stock, typical collapsible stock. It has this nifty little lock on it so you can lock it down and take any play out of it that would otherwise be in the stock. Which I don't know how useful that really is in the way that I employ this rifle, but it's kind of nice. My big reason for liking the CTR stock over the less expensive Mo stock is these QD buckets on the back. So I can run a quick detach swivel back there if I so choose. It gives me a little bit more adaptability with the rifle. Pretty nice stock. This one's a mil-spec buffer tube, and they are going for $92 on Bravo Company. I think they're a little more expensive when I bought mine, because I've had this stock for a couple of years now. On the back I got the Magpul Enhanced Rubber Butt Pad. Don't really know if you need it or not. I forget why I really bought it. That is 20 bucks. So you could probably save 20 bucks, spend it on magazines or ammo or whatever. And I don't really see much of a benefit to it. Excuse me. But it is rubber, gives you some nice traction. I got one on my AK, which is a 7.62 by 39 gun. It absorbs a little bit of recoil. Excuse me. And it may work a little better on something like that. Or were you to run one of these on a shotgun with an AR stock adapter, I could see it being applicable there. But $20 part, and it's on the gun. So that's pretty much everything that's on the gun itself, the way it's configured right now. The other things that I run on the gun to complete the package is this is a Viking Tactics, just VTAC 1-inch sling. Excuse me. I bought this when I was in Afghanistan. Used it on my gun over there. I've used it on multiple guns since. I like running QD swivels because I can take the same sling, run it on my AK, run it on my AR, whatever. Like it a lot. It's a good sling. It adjusts really quickly. Real high quality sling. If I get another one, I might get a padded one. Standing around at a class or walking around on patrol for, a whole day with your gun hanging around your neck from this little bitty narrow piece of webbing, it starts to hurt your neck a little bit. So a padded one might be a good investment. I looked these up. They were on, I forget what website I went to, but they were $40 for the sling. Again, I'm running QD buckets or QD swivels. These are from Midwest Industries. These are their HD, their heavy duty QD swivel. I got 2 of those. These are $14 a piece, so times 2, that's 28 bucks. Real high quality swivels. No complaints there with those at all. They can rust in the rain at the carbine class. They did start to get a little surface rust on them. Just do a little oil on there, wipe the rust right off. They work good. Good QD swivels. I've also got a Blue Force Gear little 2-point to 1-point adapter on my sling. No Impact Weapons Components makes one, but I bought this one at a local gun shop, and it just enables you to plug the sling into itself, turning your 2-point sling into a 1-point. I'm not a fan of 1-point slings. They have a very limited application as far as I'm concerned, but there is still an application for it, and if that need ever arises, I can make one. Real good little piece to have. This one was 20 bucks. Bought it at a gun shop, and don't even know it's there unless I need it. All right, so let's look at the totals here. I guess I should add that the gun initially came with this Daniel Defense fixed rear sight, real high quality sight, but it came with that. That's why I didn't include that price. So, my total for everything that's on the gun, and granted I may have paid a little more, a little less for certain parts, and then you got to factor in shipping and all that, but just going off the price of the parts that I found online and how much I paid for the gun and the optic, total in I'm $2,429. Now if you take the optic away, it's $1,879. And that is with some really nice stuff, a complete gun. Now magazines, I got P-mags, I've got GI mags with Magpul followers and stuff like that. You can get a P-mag for like 12, 13 bucks. As far as the rifle itself and what I need to employ the rifle fully, this has everything on it right now. And the gun is really great. I'm really happy with it. If I'm ever going to change anything in the future, the only things that I can really see adding would potentially be some kind of muzzle device, like like a Battle Comp 1.0 or a PWS FSC 556. Both really good muzzle devices. I could see adding one of those. But I don't have any trouble running a gun with the A2 birdcage. So, you know, that'll probably stay on there for a little while. Another thing I wouldn't mind adding, and this gun is really, really light anyway, is a Daniel Defense cold hammer forged, lightweight profile, 16-inch barrel, 1-in-7 twist, with a mid-length gas system and a Daniel Defense low profile gas block. I think that'll save me a little bit of weight from the gas block, and then obviously saving me weight on the barrel. Still be 16 inches long, still hammer forward, so it'll last a long time. Still 1-in-7, so it'll stabilize heavy bullets. But it'll give me the mid-length gas system, so it'll shoot a little softer, and maybe arguably be a little more reliable. Save me a little weight. But that's like a $260 proposition right there, so that's kind of big money. Other thing I wouldn't mind adding is the Geisley trigger, like the Hoss USMC and gun websites we're talking about. Those are really good triggers, $180. So I can see adding those sometime in the future. And again, the Daniel Defense mount that I got to put on, and that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else that I need for this gun the way that I use it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, liked seeing the gun, and if y'all have any questions, leave them in the comments. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Y'all be safe, be good, and have a good day. Thanks.